Yes, I reconciled with my ex, which is NigerianFootball. They played good football. I divorced. They were playing bad, and I divorced them. Now they played good football, and I reconciled with them, and that's why I'm wearing the yellow.
Now the reason why all of us are excited as Nigerians is because what we showed against Cameroon was enough to get the nation on their feet, to give SuperEagles a round of applause. Good. And I'm sure that's why you're wearing this jersey that I wearing today. You see, people generally believe that when you're successful, you'll have friends. People would want to be around you. People would want to associate with you. And what's happening in the studio today is proof of that. Now, if you're a faithful follower of this show, you will know that one person who has never backed the Super Eagles, giving them a chance.
Wearing a Super Eagles jersey.
Yeah, he has never even said, okay, maybe they will even draw safe.
And they are wearing.
Then go beat us today.
And they are
now
wearing.
We're on the group chat a couple of days ago.
It is not day. He's wearing.
No, the person doesn't knows himself. Don't worry. We'll get to him. We'll get to him in a bit. We're on the group chat a couple of days ago. And, preparing for the show, okay, this is how we're going to do it. This is what we should talk about. And then all of a sudden, Roy just said, I don't know where I've been keep my Nigeria jersey before. But the kind of ball when Nigeria they play now, they make me they proud. Say, I go wear am come set today. Ladies and gentlemen, Oga Roy.
Okay, so wait. I have to admit it, all right? I threw away this jersey a long time ago because Nigeria wasn't really giving me joy with what they are exhibiting. But from what I've seen so far...
Are you the NFL president?
Yeah, of course. As a patriotic Nigerian, I am expecting so much.
You are not patriotic.
If you have patriotic...
You are not... I take offense to you.
Okay, as a Nigerian...
You are not patriotic.
That word is very far from you.
I've removed patriotism.
That word is very far from you. Because if you were patriotic, you don't come here and say that AfricanFootball is Nigeria.
Am I also the same?
I've never gone against Nigeria in my life before.
My own
I've always supported the Eagles any day, anytime. In fact, when a lot of people were against Ghana Raw, I was a pro-Raw. Against Ose Pesero, I'm also a pro-Ose Pesero.
I don't think anybody on this show was pro-Pesero.
Let me explain it to you, all right? I am a Nigerian. And as a Nigerian, I think I deserve to see a good football as a Nigerian. So
you Chelsea give you good football.
You guys said
wait, is Chelsea
and I stopped wearing my Chelsea jersey.
What's he bring? Any small thing there. If you don't commit, any small thing, you don't drag Chelsea because you want now. Me and the face calling you. Me and the drag together.
Let me conclude it.
How much did they pay Pesero when you
chill now? Of course, whatever
salary.
Yes, but his salary is part of my collective patrimony. So whatever he's earning, I am part of it. Now, the point I'm making is this. Yes,
it's part of your patrimony.
I reconciled with my ex, which is NigerianFootball. They played good football. I divorced. They were playing bad, and I divorced them. Now they played good football, and I reconciled with them, and that's why I'm wearing the
You get say for Nigeria. They deport people.
Today, I'm a patriotic Nigerian.
You know the thing about supporters and football, I think it's general. A lot of people realize that they tend to forget, the hard days where teams were struggling.
Education.
No, and because it's quite sad for people to now start talking about someone was describing Jose Pesero, and if he probably didn't say the name, I would think it was Pep Guardiola I was talking about.
So he was pro Pesero.
People now describe Pesero as Pep Guardiola. They are now seeing what he can do.
No, what did he do?
See, I've said it already.
I don't think you say you go see commodities jersey before we leave this set.
No, let's face fact. What is carrying Nigerian so far?
It's just the individual brilliance. No, you go there. If you have followed the Eagles very well, please let me say something. If you have followed the Eagles very well, from the I begin to understand.
And I'll stand and leave, to be honest.
Why now?
Because
it's offending a patriotic
it's unfair.
Nigerian.
No, it's unfair for you to see a team that is probably the best team so far at the tournament. Just talk about them that is their players. This thing. No,
see. If you want to,
I don't
want to forget my point. There's something I'm driving at.
Let's not take a deep breath first. Let's relax.
Okay.
Now the reason why all of us are excited as Nigerians is because what we showed against Cameroon was enough to get the nation on their feet to give Super Eagles a round of applause.
Good.
And I'm sure that's why you're wearing this jersey that I wearing today. Now let's talk about the game proper. When Ajayi's goal went in and it got cancelled, there was some sort of belief among Nigerians that, look, with the way this game is going, we may have lost this chance, but we're definitely going to win this game. Now, I want to throw this question now. What do you think is, why do you think the reason, what's the reason for that level of confidence? Because we started some type of win in the tournament. Against Cote d'Ivoire, he tweaked the system a bit. And also I take offense to you saying, what has Pesero done?
Sorry.
Because that system seems to be the reason why, there's a bit of, it feels like the team knows what they are doing.
Sorry, do you know why you made mention of after that Semi Ajayi's goal was cancelled, there was still sort of belief that Super Eagles were going to do something in that game. Now it is because number one, you know that this team doesn't look like a team that is going to concede any goal. I think you should give the manager sort of credit, because for him to think that, okay, let's try a 3-4-3 formation, let's putting Calvin Bassey to pair with the other two defenders, making Ola Aina progress forward and still come back, putting Zaidu there to do whatever he wants to do on the attacking runs, getting the best out of Frank Onyeka. Now, like I said before, I think a good defense wins you tournament easily. And when you have a team set up in a way that you are not expecting them to concede goals, that's to show you the confidence and how good the setup is at the back. The Super Eagles have been very coordinated, they've been very disciplined, they've been very organized, and I can tell you for free that anything that will break down this Super Eagles team will probably, do extra. When I mean extra, you probably need to get about 2 players in that back line injured.
No.
As long as we have Calvin Bassey, as long as we have Ola Aina, as long as we have the pairing of Semi Ajayi and Trustekong, I don't see any team in this tournament breaking Nigeria down. Same thing with against Angola is going to be a walk in the park.
Speaking of breaking the Super Eagles down,
yeah.
In my personal opinion, I feel we took a major blow in the game against Cameroon, and that was losing Nwabali.
It's not a problem. No, let us even go there.
Why is it not a problem? Because I'm not going to lie to you.
I want to ask you a question.
Soar does not inspire any confidence in me as a Nigerian.
I think that when we had issues with the goalkeeper, everybody knew that it was more about our defensive unit not playing together for a long time. If you followed the game very well, you should understand that the job that this guy has been trying to fix for a long time is now finding that sense of togetherness in the defense. They are playing constantly together. They are defending quite well. In this competition, what has Nwabali done spectacularly? Nothing. The only thing he has enjoyed is that he had a good defense in front of him. And I tell you, we have seen our other goalkeeper, they're talking about result throughout the World Cup. It was awesome, fantastic. Can he not be that again? Of course he can. The only thing he needs is a consistent defense that we are enjoying now. If he does anything wrong again, we'll say that. But so far, so good. It wasn't about Nwabali being a spectacular goalkeeper for us. It was more of our defenders doing the job they had to do, defending quite well. And what I went against Roy is that if you want to know what the coach is doing, for the first time, you should know that this guy has a plan. The only problem he has had in the past is that players who come in from Europe, just 4 days, 5 days, they are back to their base. No consistency, no training together. For the first 7 years, I've been together for 2 weeks or 3 weeks now, and we are seeing the results. I'm not saying Ose Pesero is a super coach. Obviously not. Okay. But he's a guy that can get the job done. He has played different kind of pattern in this competition. He has played 3-4-3, 5-3-2, 3-5-2. So many different. It shows that it's not about what he wants to do or what is in his brain. It's about what you are bringing to us. Bring it to us. We'll be ready for you, regardless of who you are.
I take exception to you saying Nwabali has not done anything.
He has not done anything. Just see. And I'll tell you, that he's calm, cool and collected.
I'll tell
and he talks a lot.
But
as he tested, MBK,
do you have
you have faced least number of shots. Outragely, you have faced
I've always said
a shot again.
Farouk, if you listen to me everywhere, I've always said that there was this analogy of, am I going to pick a world-class defense over a world-class goalkeeper? And I said that any day, anytime, I'll pick a world-class defensive pairing, because in the end, that's why you when a goalkeeper is not exposed enough, you want to praise him for clean sheets, want to praise him. That's why I like fantasy football. The same point you are giving the keeper is the same point you are giving the defenders. Because there's a saying that a goalkeeper is as good as his defense. That's why whatever you guys are saying about Andre Onana, I think that is
hold on,
Farouk.
If it is good, he will keep for Cameroon. Which Onana? Don't go there. Onana is 0 today, tomorrow, and twice on Public Day. He didn't even keep for Cameroon.
Farouk, he's been too exposed.
How?
I always say that.
Why is he not keeping Cameroon? Okay, I want to ask you, why is Onana not keeping Cameroon?
The reason you cannot play one ball is because you are saying that they've not tested because there is no exposure to shots.
Now my question is, do you have to test a goalkeeper for him to affect the
Sure banker.
So wait, where does the whole communicating with your backline, telling them, little shifts and adjustments to make, coming to come and claim balls that normal day might cause problems? Because the issue we had with Soar initially was that in the air, I don't trust him. He can go for a ball and miss it entirely. It happened against Saudi Arabia, and I think that was the shot that broke the camel's back between us and Soar.
Sorry, like I said before, I think most times it's based on confidence of a player. I've seen Ronaldo go on goal drought that this is what Ronaldo will score, this is his food, and he will still miss it. So football is more of psychology, That's why I said that I really don't want Uzor to continue in this tournament because a lot of us will be picking his errors. Everything is going well with Nwabali, And again, he's confident now because everything is going well with the team. Uzor was like this at some point. Let's not even lie. Yeah. There was a time that Uzor was very good for us. I remember when I traveled to Uyo to cover the SuperEagles game in 2018. I saw Uzor and I understood the confidence oozing around him then. So in the end, like one of the top journalists said on Twitter that Omar Katuga, in the end, he won about that. In the end, this thing is based on momentum. One time they are praising you, the other time they are coming at you. So just enjoy the moment. I'm not saying Nwabali is not doing well. I'm not saying he's not the best. I'm not saying he's not a very good goalkeeper. But in the end, let's give credit to the defensive pairing of Semilo Guajayi and Trusekon, who have not exposed him to dangers, because in the end, there's little a keeper can do when series of shots comes at him. Same with Andre Onana.
All right, I hope that this run of form that we have now, the confidence that we're starting to build will see us go further in the tournament. Now, having said that, let's talk about a team that we're going to play into quarterfinals, Angola. Now, they thrashed Namibia 3-0, and everybody came out saying they absolutely dominated that game from the start to the finish. Now, let's not forget that a lot of people there's a lot of hype around Namibia when the AFCON was about to start. That they're counter-attacking side, they know how to hit teams on the counter and all of that. People were even saying people went as far as saying they will be the dark horse of the tournament. But now they are out. And it seems like Angola are just playing high on confidence. And we're playing them next. What does that mean for the Super Eagles?
See, if you have watched Namibia in this tournament, except the only thing they did against Tunisia, and Tunisia themselves are like an empty pipe in this tournament. So, trust me, there was nothing Namibia will bring to this tournament. I'm not trying to discredit what Angola did against them. Okay. It was also performance. They went a man down, they held themselves together, scored first, and when Namibia got the red card too, it was like game over. But the truth is, Angola are always a threat to any team, anytime. Yes, they have not won Admission Cup for a long time. But remember in 2006, they were responsible for also not going to the World Cup. So they've been around the corner for a long, long time. Yeah. What they are doing now, I'm not surprised. The Palanga Negras of Angola are going to be a threat to any team in this tournament. But I just feel that where we are now, the teams who have taken out, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, we should not be looking at Angola and be saying, no, for me, they go chop on. Let's just use that word. That's what.
The truth is, I totally agree with.
Let me hear his truth. Let me hear his truth.
The truth is, I totally agree with you that right now in the Nigerian camp there is this high spirit in the boys. All right, so I believe the Super Eagles will actually defeat Angola. However, if they are too confident in the whole whatever, it might actually come back. They should just watch it. That's the summary of what I'm trying to say. When I said earlier that Pesero is not the world-class coach IBK is trying to paint him to be, what I meant was that I'm giving, he has kudos to what he has done so far. But what I'm trying to say is, it has been more of the boys' efforts. You understand? this whoever that coined no grief for anybody this year, I think the boys have actually channeled it positively in this team. So they've not given up in that quest, in that determination to actually win the tournament. All right. So that is the spirit, the desire, the enthusiasm that is moving them in this tournament. Not because Pesero is tweaking it right or getting it right. Some of the substitution that he has done, or he's even starting lineup, he has made one or two errors. In my own opinion, this is my own opinion. All right. So I feel it is more of what the boys are bringing to the table than what he is bringing to the table.
The same thing the boys have not been bringing all this while we are playing.
Well, I like the fact that at some point in your analysis you said that's your personal opinion, because I feel like as a nation, I'm speaking for us that are patriots. We don't share your sentiments regarding Pesero. But having said that, and there's a lot of hype around the defense of the Nigerian national team. Semi Ajayi, Trust Ekong, and Kambibasi. They've been fantastic in this tournament. Take nothing away from them. Now, there's a certain player for Angola that really scares me as a person. Justin Dalla.
He has been 4 goals.
He has been on fire. He has been on fire.
You can talk now.
In this tournament.
What
now, do you think Justin Dalla? Now, do you think he's somebody we should watch out for? Now, having in mind that we've been able to shut down certain players that they thought would be a threat to us as a nation. Jeremy Boga of Cote d'Ivoire.
Vincent Abubakar came in and
Vincent Abubakar, Georges Nkunu of Cameroon and all of that. Now, this guy doesn't have all that hype around him. Yeah. He's just somebody who came and has lit the tournament on fire. Do you think it's somebody we should be wary of as a nation?
We shouldn't. Like you just mentioned, players that are way ahead of him. See, there is something that works for Nigeria. And the last match, see, you have to give if all the players their credit, but particularly, I want to give special credit to Frank Onyeka. Do you understand what I'm saying? The guy was a beast in the midfield. He showed up all the whole counter-attacks that came from Cameroon. Do you get what I'm saying? If Nigeria can deploy same spirit, same lineup, possibly, same strategy, do you understand what I'm saying? Angola will be a walk in the park. Like
no, this is it. I realize that Angola, they make use of spaces a lot. They thrive on errors from the opposition. So you ask yourself, how many chances would you even get against a compact SuperEagles side?
Yeah. When
you mark off spaces, he made mention of Frank Onyeka. What Frank Onyeka did against Cameroon was just more like closing up all the spaces, all the loopholes that Cameroon can penetrate Nigeria's defense. So in the end, now who get chance they score. If you are not giving the space, you won't. Because in the end, once you are attacking, it's either you have Calvin Bassey, who is already waiting for you. By the time Calvin Bassey comes to mark, Izaido already covers up for him. The same thing with Ola Aina and Semi Ajayi. By the time Semi Ajayi comes, or Frank Onyeka assists Ola Aina. So the thing is that
even our attackers drop very
deep.
Look
at Alex Iwobi against Cameroon. Iwobi probably sacrificed is always progressing with the ball.
Yeah.
And he tracks back, supports Frank Onyeka, gets the ball for him, and progress with the ball with it. So sending passes to our flanks and anyone. So in the end, you ask yourself, how many chances would Angola get? Cameroon didn't get any chance. No, there was no shot on target. There was nothing to penetrate Nigerian defense. And I must praise once again Pesero for a solid setup. Trust me, no team, even Senegal, will break down this SuperEagles side. Not even Angola, my brother.
Well, it's nice to see that SuperEagles are beginning to inspire this level of confidence in us, the Patriots.
So you think I'm not patriotic?
You wait away your jersey because it's doing the play. You know the Patriots. Now, moving away from the SuperEagles of Nigeria, a certain man, Emilion Sway, is another person that's been on fire in this tournament. He went very viral because he played as a right back for his club side.
Yeah.
Came to his country and has been, their talisman. He has scored 5 goals so far in this tournament. And when they needed a goal from him to qualify, for some reason, it did not go in for him. He missed a very crucial penalty against Guinea. And I think at that point, that basically wrapped up the tournament from them, and now they are out. They look like a side that were going to go maybe to the quarterfinals or the semis, or maybe be the dark horse that everybody had been looking for in the tournament. But now they are out, and that is that. And I remember saying something here that I don't necessarily like it when teams speak early in tournaments. It doesn't necessarily
It puts eye on you.
Exactly.
That's
You get to the spotlight, and then
yeah.
there's a lot of mistakes that can happen, and before you know it, you're out. I feel like Emilion Soar was probably that penalty looked like a penalty that had a lot of doubt with it. Yes, he sends goalkeeper the wrong way, but playing it that far wide is because you're trying to be too perfect. And I think that's what cost them. But I'm telling to you guys, what do you think is the reason why Equatorial Guinea out of the AFCON?
Because they're not good enough, honestly.
Well,
Wait.
No,
I think they were good enough.
The experience at the end of the day, experience is very, very key.
Both teams
are
both teams are. See,
Wait now, coming to this tournament, which team, had more form? It was obviously Guinea.
No.
Equatorial Guinea, yes.
Guinea defeated
They have
us.
been unbeaten. This Guinea you are seeing have been unbeaten
defeated us
for the last
yes,
3 years.
The last friendly.
Yeah.
For the last 3
Before
years,
AFCON.
they have been unbeaten. They were in the same group as Cameroon.
Yeah.
Cameroon didn't get past them. So at times when you are looking at the game, like you said, Equatorial Guinea picked form at the wrong time.
Okay.
And they could not sustain it. And they were even lucky that Nigeria was so wasteful in our first match. We could have beaten them 6-1. We can testify to that.
Mm-hmm.
Ivory Coast was not Ivory Coast on the day they defeated them 4-0. But they met a proper team that was properly set up for the first time. Yes, Israel should have given them the lead. That was a bad miss from his part. But this Guinean side have been very strong in Africa for the last 2 or 3 years. Cameroon were in the same group, they could not beat them. They have played against big teams in Africa. Nobody could get past them, including Nigeria as well. And you are saying that... so when people were predicting that Equatorial Guinea were going to be, I was just like, are you kidding? Are you joking?
Once again, tournament football.
It's different.
I always say it's very different because in the end you are playing AFCON that is so difficult to break down anything.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere you got a penalty. I always say that situations like that, there is no way you are not burying that ball into the net because you know the quality of your position. Imagine you still having Naby Keita on the bench. Imagine having Alex Moriba. I mean, these are players that they are classy players too. So, like you said, Guinea is not also a team you can just take to the side and say they are not good enough. Equatorial Guinea, they bossed the game. They had a lot of chances, big chances missed, but in the end, you got your chance just in front of the net. Just find the net, like you said. Isue was probably thinking he was too careful. I don't think it's confidence. He was too careful. He didn't want to miss the ball.
I think that was
there's this opinion I hold. You understand? In a tournament like this, your talisman shouldn't actually, because a lot of pressure was actually
about that one. No mean anything
for me.
So if your talisman does not take,
it takes the likes of the C Ronaldos or the Messis. You understand? To actually hold such pressure, but for Nsue, like. The whole eyes, as if the whole pressure was on him, and that was why he was too careful, like you said. And when you are too careful, you are bound to make mistakes sometimes. That was actually what happened to him.
I personally feel like a talisman should take penalties like that because things like that will inspire confidence and make you win games that
Why should he not even take the penalty? This man is the ISO scorer at the nation's score.
So there's no reason why he would not
what
take
I said is that it should not be happening at that point in time.
He should have buried that. They are out of the competition now.
Yes, people lose penalty. But not that much.
Bro,
not that game.
I remember when I saw one player and it was like, so what happens with penalties that once you pick up the ball and you are going in front of the post, what should be in your head is
no look the keeper.
The spot you are taking, never
look at
undoubt yourself. So most times the keeper out there that most times when they catch a penalty, it's because in last seconds the player changes his mind. Farouk.
That's why we're saying when we are playing set. When we are playing set on Sunday, I will talk say, if you want to play penalty, no give the keeper a face.
After the set, when I go play PK, give yourself. But now,
I go
before if I take penalty and I pick my spot, nothing go make you catch up.
No. Should we go on penalty?
This is not a show to discuss your progress in penalty taking.
The ball is my friend, so I know what I will tell him. What he will do.
Okay.
This is not a show to discuss who can take the best penalty between the both of you. We're not here to do that. But before we leave now, let's really talk about Egypt. And I don't know if I'll say it's sad that they've left the tournament because I feel like everybody saw this coming. The way and manner in which they qualified from the group stage, all the drama that surrounded their qualification, issues with their captain going to Liverpool, not going to Liverpool. They have good doctors in Egypt. They don't have good doctors in Egypt. Now they're out and they lost to DR Congo.
Egypt didn't come to this tournament.
No,
Okay.
of
Not
course.
Africans. Anyway.
No,
They
see,
did come.
not just
I think
Egypt.
Morocco will be out.
They didn't come to this
I
tournament.
think Morocco.
Egypt
I think
especially.
I personally think Morocco will not win the AFCON.
See,
that's my
See,
honest
how can an Egyptian team play 4 games at the Nations Cup
and draw 4 of
win
them.
none?
You see,
So it's fine. They're not issue.
like Abike stated, I think there is a paradigm shift, all right, from what the Northern football used to be.
No, it's not a shift. I think it's the weather.
No, it's not the weather.
It's not a shift. I think it's the weather.
How?
Morocco said they get on that weather. Morocco are balling.
Of course.
Morocco are balling. See,
Tunisia,
look at
Algeria,
the trajectory.
Egypt.
Algeria
having a bad
Tunisia have been
tournament.
very poor for the last 4
Exactly.
years. Since Algeria last won the Nations Cup, never win any game
Yes.
for the Nations Cup.
They've not.
Tunisia have been very poor like time memorial. I don't even know what's up with them. Look at them, they won the Nations Cup when they hosted and won, and that one now in
So,
2004.
that's what
But
I'm
for
saying.
Morocco, the form of World Cup they are still bringing in here. But like Abike has said, the weather at the point in time will get to them. When they are playing against a quality side, they have not been tested. Forget it. Morocco never played against a proper African side. But Egypt, I'm disappointed. If you have won the Nations Cup 7 times, whether you are playing in Mars, Pluto, or even on Heart, come on,
I think
you're
that's
doing
unfair.
better.
I think that's unfair.
Again,
No, now it's
like
Egypt
Irabi
now,
said, you
7
know,
times champion.
wait.
But why don't you
Is
think
the-
that another school of thought? I feel the paparazzi surrounding
Salah's issue. I think that's my
They didn't
question.
manage it well.
might have played out as something really big. I always say that as a captain of the side, the least you can do is to stay with the team.
It was there now, the 3rd match. But
You see, Abike, there is something you used to say. That, let me borrow your word.
Thank you.
You say-
Thank you. That's why I educate people.
education.
You say that a national team is actually a reflection of what the club side is.
Yeah.
When you look at the Egypt,
Did you say that?
yeah, of course,
The league is a reflection of
what the national team would
Baba
like.
team.
So now, when you look at the Egypt team properly, you realize that they really do not have quality players, permit me to say, quality players compared to the likes of Abu Trika,
Salah.
Unlike them,
Trezeguet,
when their league was on fire.
when it was,
You understand what I'm saying?
Before we go ahead,
11
the
players.
national team.
before we go ahead and say we're pointing fingers at their league,
Yeah.
most of the players in this team
Okay.
are the players who went to the AFCON final against Senegal.
I was about to
So
say
what has changed between then and now?
Now, see, whether you like it or
I
not,
don't agree with weather.
whether you like it or
there
not,
now.
that is a weather playing a role in the whole.
How
whatever.
many of our
That's
players
number
are
one.
playing here
Then
in Nigeria now?
Number two, age is catching up. You can't cheat nature. Then how old is Salah today? You cannot compare Salah of 4 years ago and Salah of
Salah
2
with
years
Now,
ago.
no, Miss
Salah-
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 I feel
There is a decline.
I feel
There
this
is a
talk.
decline in their league.
Baba, me that one no say
Like
they
I
don't
said-
win one game now.
What are we saying now?
I feel this talk about whether is if you say the whole media
You're no good
thing
at it.
around Salah
Yeah.
maybe it was a bit of a distraction. I can forgive that easily. But I don't buy the idea of the weather. Now I'll tell you why. Most of the players who play for Nigeria, they're not based here.
Okay.
Most of them came
You
from
will never stay for Nigeria before. They born there.
all their clubs all over Europe came down here and are playing and they're winning
even
and are
say
winning games.
His landing here is
So
going
now
to
coming to now say that
Nobody-
the weather is the reason why they are not performing because they are from North Africa, I feel like that's very ridiculous. You are not good, you are not good. You've not come to the party, you've not performed in this tournament
Forget
because
North, forget
for some
West,
reason
forget South.
you've
Everyone
not just been a team, and that's that. I don't think this weather excuse should fly, in my personal opinion. Maybe Salah's whatever affected them, he's the captain. If it's the reason why they're out, then so be it. I wish JR Congo the best of luck in their future endeavors.
They are Dr. Congo.
Dr.
That's what we
Congo.
call it.
All the best for them. So, of course, the AFCON is still on and the fun has not stopped right here on the continent. There are
Yes,
still
so-
teams in Cote d'Ivoire, fighting to qualify for the quarterfinals. Of course, Nigeria were there already and will be playing Angola. So, before we leave, let me ask the guys in the studio. You guys have said we're going to win. Now, I want to know how exactly are we going to win? 2 goals, 3. We've been scoring 1-1-0 since. Now we scored 2. Do you think we scored 3 against Angola?
Well, let me move away from that. I don't like to predict, but I feel that we're going to beat Angola. But I'm looking at this Nations Cup, the semi-final spots. We might be having team
Morocco.
that we have not seen before at the Nations Cup. A fixture to Congo and Guinea. will be playing. That means that we'll be seeing one team, in the semi-final from that fixture. If you watch out well, I hope we'll win. Angola can be there. If you are not careful, we might see a team that have never won it before, winning it at this point in time.
You just talk your own. If you are not careful.
At the drop bars.
Against Equatorial Guinea, if you are not careful. Against Cote d'Ivoire, if you are not careful.
At the drop bars, you don't appreciate.
But we have to be careful.
Nigeria will win.
So we have to be
Nigeria
careful.
will win 3-1
3-1
against Angola. Take it to the bank.
For me, Nigeria will win. I want to be patriotic. You guys said I'm not patriotic, so I'm trying to be patriotic right now.
Oh, guys, stay where you say. Please don't stay there.
Are you being patriotic for us?
No, let me add a clause to it. If Nigeria replicates what they did against Cote d'Ivoire,
if you want bet, you go to tell.
Replicate what they did against Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon, then they will win Angola by 1-0.
But
okay, that's fine. I'll take that.
That's the only condition they win.
One thing I can assure Nigerians is that we have a solid side. We are not conceding any goal against Angola. I can assure you that I think it's going to end 2-0.
Well, you guys have heard from the guys in the studio. Oga Farouk thinks we're going to win 3-1. Roy thinks we're going to win 1-0. IBK is sticking with 2-0. So let us know in the comment section how you think that match is going to pan out. And until next time, bye.